So Cherish asked us about sounds that we find beautiful. The sound of a wood thrush, which I think is one of the simplest, plainest birds there is, but it has, I think, one of the most haunting and beautiful songs. The sound of water trickling from rocks on the side of a mountain. Also the sound that my phone makes when I get a text message from someone I'm having a conversation with. That's always a really good sound. This whole talk of favorite sounds and things that I find beautiful made me think of one of the early videos about favorite things, and so I guess I thought I would share some of my favorite things today, kind of, you know, still in the whole getting to know you process. So on the bird front, one of my absolute favorite things is my signed baseball from the San Diego Chicken. That is one of my favorite things, I think, because this guy, I don't know if you've ever met the San Diego Chicken. If you haven't yet, take the opportunity to do so, because it is my genuine opinion that he is perhaps the nicest man on this planet. I met him over the summer. It was about 95 degrees in the shade at the baseball stadium, and yet he went from, I think, the second inning through the seventh inning, full costume, no ice packs, no nothing, just total professional, and then came out for, you know, another hour or so to sign autographs and was so super sweet, took the time to talk to every single person there. So class act. Thank you so much, San Diego Chicken. And so this is a prized possession. When my grandmother passed away, I got a bunch of old family photos and mementos from her house, and one of my favorites is this picture of my grandfather from World War II. He's over there with a typewriter. He was over in Europe from 44 to 45, and he passed away when I was just heading off to college, but this is how I like to remember him, and the fact that he's sitting in front of a typewriter kind of lends me, I don't know, it makes me feel good as a writer myself. I like to feel like I have this kind of connection to him. So another prized possession on that same writing front and relative front. Also, after my grandmother's passing, I got this kind of diary, I guess, that she had written for my aunt and uncle as a kind of memento for them. And she answers a whole bunch of questions in here about her life and growing up and her family, and to get to know her. I mean, I knew her a lot when I was a kid, but to have this insight on her growing up and things I never knew about her is really wonderful. And so this is definitely a cherished possession. And finally, I keep this wonderful box of letters, as it says, letters. And this has everything from, you know, postcards and things like that, to letters that I've written back and forth with my friends. And I'm starting to amass a wonderful collection of the sweetest letters from students to me, or about me, as the case may be, that are just they just brighten my day when I read them. So those things, I think, if my house were burning down or something like that, those would definitely be the things that I would take with me. Alright, so Nikki Joe wanted a question, and so this is for Nikki Joe or anybody else who wants to answer my question. It's actually a kind of practical one that I need advice on. In general, I'm a pretty cheerful person. I'm kind of an optimist. I try to see the best in people and in things, and so I'm a fairly cheerful person to be around. At least I like to think I am most of the time. But lately, I think there's been a spell of negativity going around. Just a lot of people that I know and people that I'm close to, and they've been going through some tough times and have needed to vent. I happen to be a person that a lot of people vent to, and so I'm around a lot of negativity a lot. And while I don't mind so much, I have a hard time not being affected by it, and that stresses me out a bit. It just, I can't help but be infected by the negativity. And I was wondering if y'all had any advice on how to deal with that, because it's something that's really been weighing me down recently. And I'm so tired of the stress of it. I want to be one of those nice, calm people who just, you know, placidly listens to others and lets it roll off their back like water off a duck. But I'm just not. So what do you do when somebody's mood affects you in a way that you don't like? How do you deal with it or get away from it, especially if it's a person that you can't necessarily get away from? Help me out, strangers. Till next week. Bye.